My name is Nikhil Manchanda, and I'm an engineering manager on the Kubernetes services team at SUSE. And today I want to talk to you guys about an idea I call WheelHouse. So, among other things, at SUSE we build and ship Helm charts for Portis and our version of Cloud Foundry, which are fairly big, complex distributed applications. Portis is an authorization front end for Docker registry and UI for it, and Cloud Foundry is an application platform as a service. And so being big and distributed, one of the issues we run into is that while testing this is that we can't test it all on a single instance, so for example, Minikube or a single dev box. So we usually have to sort of have this go through this dev workflow where we package up the Helm chart as a tarball, and then we have a data center in Provo, and so we copy it over and then test it out in a much bigger Kubernetes cluster environment that's running SUSE Kubernetes. So this is not ideal, and the Middle Ages called and they want their catapults back. So idea. Why not set up something like a chart museum as a repository, maybe somewhere in the DMZ where we can push charts to and pull charts from, and therefore test charts in staging once they've passed tests and things like that. And that's a great idea. But we ran into a little snag. Most of SUSE's deployments are on bare metal, and for Chart Museum, we wanted to have persistent charts. So we needed to install persistent volumes. SUSE has a Ceph offering, so we decided to go down the path of setting that up and configuring it, and ended up with a pretty naughty cephalopod, as you can see. And that was tricky, and it's something that we have to maintain ourselves, so not ideal. So another idea, hey, wouldn't it be cool if there were something like Docker Hub where you could just like sign up for an account and push charts up to, and then pull charts back down, and basically just use those charts instead. And that's basically where the idea of WheelHouse was born. So quick side note, we already have the sort of GitHub charts repository and kube apps and things like that, but those are sort of more along the lines of curated charts. What I'm talking about here is users just allowed to push up any charts and then download any charts without having any sort of semblance of curation or anything there. So, other question, if we were to build something like that, could we base it off of Chart Museum or maybe App Registry or something like that? Would this make sense? Is this a good thing? What are some pros or cons of doing something like this? One of the big pros, really, is eating our own dog food. If we based it on, say, Chart Registry, we'd have a way of knowing what bugs exist, what features of Chart Registry don't exist there today that we need to go work on to solve some of these scenarios, and things like that. So giving us more feedback to the code itself, which is a good thing. Also, speaking of features of Chart Registry that don't exist today, which would make something like this possible, one big one is multi-tenancy. So today, having a bunch of different users sort of have their own chart repos doesn't really exist, so this is something that we'd probably have to work on and get to work properly before sort of building something like that. Whenever users come along, there's also the big issue of, hey, how are we going to authenticate these users? And so there are mechanisms out there like OpenID Connect, which we could possibly use. OpenID Connect is authentication based on sort of using the OAuth 2.0 authorization framework, and there's a bunch of big name providers already that support OpenID Connect-based authentication. So something to look into. Another thing to sort of complete the whole picture here is, hey, how do I make the Helm experience better and have a plugin to Helm so that you'd be able to connect to WheelHouse, upload charts, download charts, look at stuff better through the Helm client itself, and basically making the entire experience a lot better. So, in conclusion, I think that if we built something like WheelHouse, it would be of a great service to all of us on the earth out there who want to upload charts easily and download charts easily. And in the end, there would be a lot of cool cats that would be really happy with it. So, thank you.